You know, there are people who are allergic to peanut butter and they eat it, they start developing a rash.
Kids talk a lot.
We sometimes get things wrong.
But we learn quick.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jacqueline.
I'm Dr. Glenn Ello, pediatrician with Trios Health. Hello. My name is Dr. Ello. I'm a pediatrician with Trios Hospital. And today we're supposed to talk about allergies. Jacqueline, do you know what allergies are?
Yes, they're usually when you have something that's like wrong with you, like if you're allergic to peanuts.
Okay. How about you, Kyle? Do you have an idea what allergies are, or do you have allergies?
I don't have any allergies,
Okay.
but I think it's like your immune system isn't used to like certain types of stuff, or I don't.
We inhale something, or we eat something, or something touches us, and that's, our body realizes that's not part of us, so it tries to remind us, hey, that's not your part of you. So you start developing a reaction to it. So like you said, if you're allergic to peanuts, some people, they start eating peanuts, they'll start getting a rash, or they'll get hives, they start itching all over. Sometimes the allergy could be really bad. You know, they can start complaining they can't breathe, their throat swells up, and they can't breathe at all. So that's what allergies are. And many people have allergies, especially around our area here in the Northwest. There are a lot of kids and adults who have allergies. We mentioned peanut butter. This is peanut butter. You like peanut
Yes,
butter?
I do
Well,
like
yeah,
peanut
my
butter.
wife loves peanut butter too. She could eat peanut butter all day if she wanted to. But not all people can. You know, there are people who are allergic to peanut butter and they eat it, they start developing a rash, or they start feeling very uncomfortable. Okay? Now, do you know what you do if you have an allergy? If there's a medicine for it, or what you can do to not get any allergies?
You could ask a doctor
Okay.
and see if you have any allergies and how to avoid it.
And there are things that you can do too if you're allergic to something. I mean, you can take medicine, okay? So you probably heard about certain medicines that you can take. You see them all over on TV too. They advertise medicine that you can take for allergies. So it says it'll stop you from itching, it'll stop you from sneezing. But still, the best way to avoid to prevent allergies is to try to avoid what you're allergic to.
What kind of things can happen to people when they have an allergy?
Well, a lot of things can happen. It could be something as little as, you start itching, you start sneezing, or you can have something that's even worse. You can have something called an anaphylactic reaction. That's when somebody gets exposed to something he's allergic to, and then they start complaining that they can't breathe, their throat closes up, their eyes get puffy, and that's a very serious thing. You'd end up in the hospital for something like that. Okay? You've probably heard of people who carry special medicines around, where in case of a bad allergy, or what we call anaphylaxis, they have to give themselves the medicine. They have to poke themselves with a medicine to get them to feel better. So you could have a very minor reaction like itching or sneezing, and you can have a very bad reaction. Okay? But there are other forms of allergies as well. Do you know that asthma is a type of allergy?
Yes.
Yeah, asthma is a type of allergy too. It's your body starts to, what happens there is your breathing apparatus, your lungs, and the tubes that go into your lungs start to close up on you.
So that's why they have that little breathing
Yep,
thing.
that's the inhaler. Sometimes some kids who have asthma, they start having an asthma attack if they breathe in dry, dusty air. Okay? You also probably know of people who, when they play outside and they start running, they start coughing and wheezing. That's called exercise-induced asthma, which is also a form of allergy. Okay? But generally, we do two types of tests. We do something called the poke test. Do you know what the poke test is all about?
A needle going into
Yeah,
you?
now basically that's what you do. We're going to poke you 20 different times in different parts of your body to see if you're going to react to it. I don't think you're going to like that. Okay? But what it does is, let's say for example, they think you're allergic to peanut butter or to peanuts. They can inject you with a small amount of peanuts on your skin, and then after a few minutes, they check if your skin turns red or if you develop a reaction to it. If you do, more than likely you're allergic to it. So imagine doing that 20, 30 different times in different parts of your body, okay? But that's one way to do it. The other test that we do is the blood test and to check for food allergies. If you have a lot of antibodies against something, you're probably allergic to it. If you don't have antibodies against that thing, you're probably not allergic to it, or maybe you've never eaten it yet, or you've never been exposed to it.
How do you cure an allergy?
You can either control it. That means you take medicine so that you won't have an allergy. So let's say you've heard about people taking pills or liquid medicine so they stop sneezing and itching. That's one way to control it. The other way, of course, is to avoid it. Okay? If you're allergic to certain things, you try to avoid those things. Now, sometimes there are people who will also get something called allergy shots. Those are people who are allergic to a lot of things, and they go to the specialist called an allergist. And what the allergist does is he makes a shot specially for that person, consisting of stuff he might be allergic to. Okay? So it's trying to get your body used to it, so that after a while you may not actually react to it anymore. So that's allergy shots is one way of controlling allergies too.
Is an allergy something you have to stick with?
Well, it's not like you have a choice, you know. Like I said, most people have allergies and there's really not much you can do about it as far as getting rid of it, you know. But what you can do is control how you get exposed to the allergy. So you try to avoid them, or you try to take some medicine so you don't get too bad of an allergy when you get exposed to it. That's the best way of dealing with it.
What's the most unusual allergy you have heard of
Wow, that's a good question.
or worked with?
The strangest allergies I've seen are people who have allergies to allergy medicine. They're actually kids like that, you know. You tell them, oh, you have an allergy, you take allergy medicine. But I've seen a few kids who actually are allergic to allergy medicine. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to treat them, you know. That's when you try to make sure that, you know, since regular allergy medicine doesn't help them, you have to tell them, well, you need to try to avoid what you're allergic to. But I'd like to thank you, Jacqueline, for coming, Kyle, for coming in and talking to me today. Maybe we can do this again sometime next time, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.